Hello, welcome back to HLS Crypto. I'm delighted to be joined by Riaz Mehta, founder of RightStream. So it's exciting. It's nice to have a guest on. It's something that we haven't done very often. So this is quite a unique moment. So thank you and welcome to Riaz. How are you doing?
Hey Dan, thank you so much for having me here. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. It's great to see you, and thanks for coming on. So yeah, just to start with, I know a lot of people probably are already aware now of RightStream because we've done a couple of videos on the channel about it. I know you had an AMA with a Sepril as well. Sepril. I never get his name right. I always feel bad about it. But that was really informative. I think you've done two with him now, so that they were really interesting as well. So yeah, the first thing really is just kind of like the origins of where RightStream kind of came about from and the origins of yourself, because I know that you were nominated for an Emmy, international Emmy. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. So, background is both in technology and in media. So, early part of my career, I grew up pretty much as a developer with a degree in computer science from Sydney, Australia. And then over the years, I followed my creative passion. I set up a television production company and have created a number of reality TV formats. I've worked with some of the best producers on the planet, folks like Mark Burnett. He's the creator of Survivor, The Apprentice, and many other well-known formats. And it's that journey that really inspired me to solve problems for the industry, because I became acutely aware of the challenges that a producer faces in creating content and bringing the ideas to life, and also in monetizing their content. And to solve both of these problems, I initially started off from the monetization aspect, and that's when I created All Rights. And All Rights is essentially a B2B marketplace for film and TV content, but we have quite a unique business model there. We offer content as a service, and that's a disruptive model that nobody else has today on the planet. And that business is very well established. We've got a team across the globe, and we're on the way to a listing as well. So that that solves a big problem for creators, for distributors, and so forth, in really increasing the reach of content and capitalizing on this massive growth that's happening within the industry and content consumption and new platforms emerging. And to solve the other problem, which is how do you bring creative ideas to life? Your typical route would be, let's go and pitch to a network or a studio or an investor or sponsor. There's the different ways you can actually get your content funded. But then when you do that, you lose control. So whoever puts some money into your project essentially calls the shots, and they end up getting the lion's share of whatever revenue is generated in the future. So the creator doesn't have much control over the creative concepts. The creative vision gets changed in that process as well. And the creator ends up with a pittance, literally, at the end. And so to solve that problem, I created RightStream. And RightStream is essentially, it's got many layers, as you would have seen. We have revealed a few pillars in the last week of what this ecosystem consists of. But the fundamental thing is, it is a real world asset launchpad, so that people can partake in film and television productions, and they can support their favorite creators. They can enjoy in the success of these projects as well, so that essentially we are empowering creators through their fans, and we're giving their fans an experience of actually going on that journey and wearing that producer hat for a day, literally, to say, what would it be like to be there, right? And have my name up in the lights. And that's essentially what RightStream is about. But we'll go a lot deeper into the different pillars in a second. But any questions so far?
No, that's really interesting. I think because a lot of time I imagine that when people have got creative concepts, some ideas that they want to bring to light, a lot of the time they probably never leave the idea phase because there's always that barrier to entry for people. So This seems to be something that would remove that barrier of entry for people who are maybe not so well known in the industry, who are looking to make their first steps, kind of thing.
Exactly right, Dan. And even if you're really well known in the industry, even if you can get through those doors of a large studio or a network or Netflix or whatever, the process to actually get your project greenlit is extremely long. And from start to finish, it can take about 18 months. And you're competing with so many other pitches that your probability of ever getting that idea off the ground is extremely low. And even if you've got this wonderful idea and it's it's going to change the world, you're up against thousands of people. So that's where we come in, and we really empower the creator in a fashion that's never been done before.
Yeah, it does seem interesting because it gives people an opportunity as well to support, things that they want to support, things that they like, and they have an opportunity to be involved with that. And as you said before, like, getting your name in credits and stuff like that, that means a lot to people, particularly if they're really passionate about something.
100%. And I think it's getting the name in the credits, but also enjoying other benefits, right? As the film or the TV show achieves success, and also having some unique takeaways from it. So, and it's probably a good opportunity to kind of take a little bit more of a deeper dive into the RWA platform, which is the Film and TV Launchpad. So essentially, what ends up happening is a creator can come to the platform and say, "I want to bring this particular creative idea to life," and then it goes through a vetting process at our end, where we want to ensure that we also protect our community, that we have legitimate projects coming to the platform, and if they don't have all the relevant experience, then we will support them, but we want to ensure that these projects will succeed at the end of the day. And once they're listed on our platform, then the community will be able to participate in these, typically via NFTs, or it can be other means as well, in how real world assets are tokenized, but typically via NFTs, whereby they can then earn rewards from each of these projects and also get unique experiences. For example, these NFTs could be signed by the actors or by the director, and they become works of art that they will keep forever, literally, that they were part of history. They can have their name in the credits. They can earn rewards along the way as well. And I'll give you an example in a second when we talk about the Cryptonites project, because that is the first one that we are launching on our Launchpad, and how that particular project gives the community so many benefits that are unheard of, literally. And they're a game changer, not just for our ecosystem, but for the projects out there and for people that participate.
Yeah, if you want to go into Cryptonites, because where did the name Cryptonites come from? Because for me, I'm of a generation where it used to be really dangerous for Superman. Kryptonites. So,
Great question.
yeah,
It actually came up. I was having a drink with a really good friend of mine, and I was telling him, "Hey, I want to create this TV show with, it's like a Shark Tank for crypto." And this is a couple of years back, right? And he said, "Well, this is going to be the Kryptonite, isn't it?" And it just came out like over a glass of red wine, and my mate said that, and I said, "Hey, that's a great name, right? It's like it's such a cool name." And I said, "Do you mind if I use it?" And he said, "Of course, go for it." And so from that point on, we've been kind of we said Kryptonites, and then we actually bounced off some industry folk as well, and the name has really stuck because what we found is that the show needs to have the mystique of crypto, right? If you make it too much like anything else that's out there, then it's not going to be appealing to the general audience. So you need to create some kind of mystique that people will say, "Hey, I want to check out what this thing is about," right? And this is our way of bringing Web 2 into Web 3, but without losing all the cool elements around Web 3, because I believe that's what really moves us forward, right? So that's the origins of the name.
Yeah, it's good. It is definitely catchy. It does stick in your mind, doesn't it?
Indeed, and it also kind of we were kind of thinking about, okay, so with the knights, what does that really mean? So historically, knights have been the knights in shining armor. They're the saviors. They're out there. They're defending the good and fighting the good fight, etc. And for Cryptonites, that's what these guys are doing, right? They are the OGs of crypto. They have forged a pathway. They have actually, been in the battles and learned all the lessons, and they bring that experience to the table. And experience is not something you can buy, right? Is you have it, and it's a gift, and it's a gift that our knights are able to offer the projects that they choose to support, and they support the projects not just in terms of here's all my learnings and how I'm going to mentor you and so forth, but they also put their money into it, right? So it's like Shark Tank, where the sharks actually invest in projects, and that's where Cryptonites is meaningful, because for a project, coming to us is, you know, more than just the recognition and the marketing exposure. It allows them a whole new level of opportunity, an opportunity to be supported by the Knights, an opportunity to get investment into their projects, and opportunity to really catapult their project to success like nothing else out there would help them do.
When is it likely that this is going to be launched then? Because I imagine that you're going to be able to watch this on the RightStream app.
100%. So we go into pre-production this quarter. Filming will be in Q2, and broadcast will be early Q3. So it's all happening fairly quickly. And Dan, there's a reason for that, that we wanted to make sure that the projects that we feature are relevant, right? It's like it's something that's happening in real time for our community, for all the projects communities as well. It's not something that happened a year ago and now you're going to get to see it. So, which is what happens with a lot of shows like this, right? Because it's a long gestation cycle, and the pre-production production processes can be quite long. So we have deliberately condensed all of those things so that we can get it to our community, to our viewers very quickly. And we also give them the opportunity to do a lot more with this. So I think this will I can dive into kind of the other element of our pillars, which is Cryptonites Launchpad itself. And we, not the secret one, the one before that, yeah. So so you can think of this as like the knight's own private sale, right? So typically, you've been in this sector since 2017, the whole ICO boom, and what often ends up happening is that the whales get in early and the institutions get in early, and they get the best terms into these rounds. And the real community, the people that are going to be in this project for the long haul, they actually don't get a bite of that cherry. And we wanted to kind of level that playing field, and we wanted to help community get access to these projects early, and hence the the key pillar, which is our Cryptonites Launchpad, where you can participate in the private sales of these projects that you've seen on television. Now, it's possible that the Knights have actually backed that project, and that's why you want to get into it. Or you think, hey, my judgment is better than the Knights. So even though they rejected that, I think that's awesome, and I want to back that project, and you can still participate in it.
That's interesting. That's good that you can do both.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be really, really good. I know that I don't know if you've managed to touch on the staking aspect, because I know that the liquidity pools or the staking pools got filled very, very fast. I think one was within 2 minutes.
It was literally in 2 minutes. We were blown away because we were debating, okay, how big do we make this pool? And we thought, oh yeah, we'll make it this big, and then we were very pleasantly surprised, and thanks to all the community for believing in us. That now I think people understand that staking is a very key component of being in our ecosystem. So the liquidity pools that we announce, essentially they give you a bigger allocation on the Cryptonites Launchpad and the Real World Asset Launchpad as well. So when you stake, especially in the early pools, then it gives you a bigger allocation. And of course, even in the later pools, when you stake, also gets you on the whitelist and it gives you the allocation. So this is your way to actually enter that ecosystem and really, I guess, be ahead of the crowd in that sense, that because you're the RightStream community, you get early access to everything, right? Because you hold the right tokens, you stake the right tokens, you get opportunity to invest in these awesome projects that'll be on the show. You get opportunity to be part of the whole Cryptonites experience. You could have your name up there in the producer credits. And there's a lot of other rewards that will be dropping along the way for people that stake. And, we've got a few little surprises here and there that we, it's nice for people to say, hey, I didn't expect that. And where did that come from? So there's a few goodies in store.
Yeah, it looks like it's a like under promise, over deliver kind of situation, because I know a lot of people are excited about this fifth surprise kind of tier. I know obviously you can't mention anything about that at this stage, but it's interesting to see what that's going to be, because I know that there's five in total. You've got the Real World Asset Launchpad, and then you've got the right app and
Yeah,
right
I haven't
stream.
talked about the right app actually. I can dive into that
Yeah,
since
please
we're
do.
right there. So what the right app will do, um, as we start the shortlisting project process for these projects, right? So imagine there's 200-300 projects out there that we will be talking to, and we have already started that process to shortlist for the show. Now, the community will have the opportunity to use the right app to vote for their favorite projects. And you'll see that everything that we do, we engage the community in the early stages and throughout the journey. So we want to ensure that there's interaction, there's engagement. And so the right app basically has these things we call glimmers, right? So you'll be able to vote with these glimmers. Now, you earn glimmers through staking as well. So again, comes back to the right tokens, and where when you stake these right tokens, you have all of this access. But now you also get these glimmers that are dropped into you, which allow you to actually vote for your favorite projects and kind of move them up that ladder. And then we'll be choosing community favorite projects, a handful of these to be featured throughout the series. So the community has direct influence in terms of what projects actually get picked for the show. And the communities that are behind these projects will also be able to support their favorite project. And the benefit for the project is that now that their project is going to be on this right app, there's not just their community voting for them, but there's all these other communities that actually get visibility to their project, right? So it becomes an amazing marketing vehicle whereby we raise awareness amongst hundreds of thousands, millions of people through this right app, which means that when these projects are on the show, they have already got all this support behind them. And when these projects launch the tokens, or they're out in the market launching the products, and all of these communities are inbuilt, and they're going to help them get to that next level. So this is an amazing ecosystem in that sense, Dan.
Yeah, it does seem so. I like the fact that it's so community driven as well, because I know this is a Right Stream Plus here. And I know you can watch this whether you're using it through Web 2 or Web 3. You can do it with email address and stuff like that. I know it's for a limited time. I think it's free right now. Is that correct?
That's correct. So at the moment, you can just go in there, watch a ton of content for free, and enjoy that experience. Over time, we'll be introducing some paid content as well, some exclusive content. When we drop our Cryptonites TV series, then you'll be able to watch that on the RightStream app, as well as, of course, major broadcast and streaming platforms across the globe. So we want to ensure that the show has phenomenal reach. And, Dan, if you see the track record that we have, my shows have been on Netflix, on Hulu, on Fox, on pretty much every major platform. So we have all these relationships in place. So, but, the RightStream Plus app is our way of kind of giving back to the community and saying, hey, there's a bunch of stuff that you can just come and enjoy and be part of our ecosystem, and of course there'll be other exclusive things that'll be released on it.
Yeah, I want to watch this Cryptopia. I need to do that. I need to find a little bit of time to put together to watch it. So yeah, we've touched on the pillars. The real world asset launch, but we touched on obviously Cryptonites. So I know this has been spoken about before because obviously there's competition within the space, but I see it as kind of like a healthy thing. I don't know what your thoughts are on competition, but I likened it to Pepsi versus Coca-Cola, with other competitive brands, and I was always thinking like, competitive can be healthy.
100%. Competition is healthy because that creates a bigger space for everybody, because it raises awareness. And I've experienced this in other businesses as well, right? Like when I launched All Rights, initially we were the first to market, and then there were other competitors that came up. But the great thing that happened was that the competitors were actually, out there marketing this new paradigm. And it actually saved us marketing dollars because they had done a lot of the legwork for us as well. And it helped build uh, a new space within the industry that didn't exist before. So competition is important, and you'll find competition. Like whenever there's a great idea, there will be other people with that great idea too. And there'll be nuances which differentiate the different services and so forth. And I kind of liken it to, and I've said this before, that when I'm building something, my mindset is more like Steve Jobs. And Steve never worried about what Microsoft or Dell or anybody else did. He was on a mission on his own, saying, this is my vision, this one I'm going to execute. And it didn't matter what anybody else did. And that's kind of how we see it, that we focus on our vision, our journey, and executing it well. And there's plenty of space. It's $1 trillion industry. It's like, I'm not out to get the whole $1 trillion for myself. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, I can see why. I agree. I think it is good to have this healthy competition. Obviously, if you're building a great product and project, then you shouldn't have really too many issues with that regarding that. Anyway, it can be quite healthy. I know that All Rights. I believe that it's going to be launching on the Nasdaq or something at some point. Is that right?
Yeah, this is all public domain. We're in the process, and taking a company public is always a long journey. It doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of regulatory hurdles to jump over, but we're a good way along that journey, and we expect that to be done this year. So again, super pumped about that. And what I've learned, Dan, it's success in business is all about persistence. And with All Rights, we've done that. With RightStream, we're doing that, and ultimately that pays off.
What do you think the benefits of obviously having All Rights initially and then leading into RightStream? Because I believe you've got like a distribution company within that, so it's kind of like a lead that a lot of people don't have.
Exactly. So you can imagine, like on All Rights, we've got over 100,000 hours of content on the platform. We've got reach to hundreds of millions of homes through our network, through our customers that are actually buying our services through All Rights. So we have this automatic distribution platform. We work with some of the biggest household names, folks like your Samsungs, LGs of the world. And so it does give us an edge. And my vision has always been to create this amazing ecosystem where producers can come to RightStream, have the content created, have the content monetized via all rights, instant distribution, instant reach that nobody else can offer. And with that, it puts us in a very, very strong position, right? So we not only have our own streaming platform with RightStream Plus, we have a platform that allows people to bring the ideas to life via RWA Launchpad. And then we have our marketplace where content can get distributed. So you can see we've created this virtuous cycle, right? Where each pillar supports the other. And ultimately, you create that flywheel. You create more content, gets fed into the all rights ecosystem, makes more money, make more content, boom, boom, boom. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, like I always look, and I've said this many times on the channel, when I'm looking at different crypto projects and things like that, I look at, are these solving pain points within an industry? Which obviously this does tick the box. Does it have a working business behind it? Has it got the experience, a good team? And this obviously always has ticked all the boxes. So this is very interesting, and yeah, I'm happy I've got some. I haven't got enough, by the way. I need some more, but I definitely.
Well, you know where to get them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So with regards to you've got a burn mechanism, I believe, in place now. Can you explain on that?
That's right. And we put this in place because ultimately we want to create a deflationary token, right? So that over time the supply shrinks and the demand goes up. And to do that, we're allocating a percentage of all the revenues across all the different pillars to buy back tokens and to burn them, which means that they go out of circulation, which benefits all the token holders that ultimately will benefit from hopefully the price going up. But this is not financial advice, and this is not this is just kind of common sense stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. So with regards to the team as well, is there anyone in particular that you feel is important for the audience to know about? Or I mean, obviously they're all very important.
Look, every team member is important in this journey, but I definitely want to point out my co-founder Damien. He's been on this journey with me since the early days, and he's done an amazing job holding up the fort with developing the tech and working with different aspects of crypto. And we make a very good tag team. Folks like Jamie, he's this branding that you see behind me, that's all him. he's
Yeah, I like that. I
he,
like that.
yeah, he's a marketeer and brander extraordinary, probably the best I've ever come across in my career. So we have a lot of awesome people in the team. There are other people that I think you might have met Joseph. He's not even on this deck, I think, but we will definitely be adding him. He's recently joined the team, super experienced guy. He's worked in both in Web 2 and Web 3 for a long time, and the guy is an absolute machine. He doesn't sleep. He's like up till 2 a.m. every night, and wakes up at like 4 the next day and back at it. So, and we have these people, and even folks like Kenny. Kenny's been on this journey with us for quite some time as well. He looks after a lot of our community aspects. Our community will definitely know him, and what I love about the team is the passion, right? That projects like RightStream, ultimately the people that are involved, they're doing it because they love the vision. They can see how this will change the industry, how it will change lives, and make that dramatic difference. That and whenever you create a startup, if you create it for the money, it's just not going to happen. To make money in a startup, it takes a very, very, very long time. And the early years are just spent building, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's a good thing, and it shows. It shows because everyone associated with the project does seem very passionate about it, and I think that always helps long term. Because if it is just purely for money, then a lot of the labor and love aspects kind of get overlooked. Whereas it looks as though this has been building for a while, and everything seems to be clicking into place. And obviously, things do take time, but I think you're getting more and more notice now, particularly around the crypto world. I think a lot more people are taking notice now, which is fantastic. So I know a few people have been asking about potential exchange listings, and I know obviously you can't mention specific names or anything like that, but is there any plans for maybe some tier one exchanges at some point?
Yeah, look, I think that's natural evolution for every project, right? As the project matures, then you go on to bigger exchanges, and there are a few parameters, right, that the exchanges look for. They need good volume, they need stability in the price, they need a good community around it, and we're getting all of those ticks in the boxes now. And so, short answer is definitely on the horizon, and but as you said, we can't really talk about these things because
No.
as soon as you do, then it kills any deal that you're working on. So
Yeah, I know they're very. It's very, very. You have to keep things certainly under wraps for a little while, but obviously you can still get it on MEXC. A lot of people use MEXC, Gate.io, Bitmart. They're all there, so people can
yeah,
go and do that. There is a link in the description if you want to go to MEXC. I've got a referral link with them. If anyone wants to use that, obviously feel free. Touching on a few different, like one last couple of bits is that. Is there any plans to kind of move into the Africa, India scene? Because obviously Bollywood's massive, a lot bigger than what people I think tend to realize. And then obviously, the African market's getting bigger and bigger in terms of TV.
oh look, I think in terms of scale, you got Hollywood, then you got Bollywood, and then you got Nollywood, right, which is Africa, literally. And we through with All Rights, we already have presence in these markets, so it's a natural extension for us to actually go into these markets. But you gotta walk before you run. We are looking at partnerships in these markets, and we get approached all the time, of course. But we want to make sure that we're executing to a plan that every stage of that foundation is very solid before we go on to the next stage. So definitely, we'll be entering these markets in a big way with the right partners. Uh, but we've got kind of enough to execute for the next couple of quarters and enough to keep us busy for now.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. One thing I don't really see get touched on very often. I just wanted to see if we could maybe look at that. It's the cinema metaverse. A lot of people don't really seem to go into too much detail on that particular aspect of it, but it looks really interesting. Have you got any thoughts or regarding what that's going to be like?
Yeah, totally. So I feel that the metaverse represents an amazing opportunity for creators in the fact that they can monetize their rights in a whole other fashion that has never been done before, right? Suddenly the whole universe opens up to you through these metaverse cinemas. And it's because anyone can be anywhere on the planet. There's no geographical boundaries anymore in your ability to go and consume content within the metaverse. Secondly, from a consumer point of view, the experience itself, right? So, say I've got a friend, and I've got a friend in LA, and if I want to sit with my friend Max and watch a movie, I couldn't do that today unless I fly to LA or he comes here. But now, with the whole metaverse experience, and especially as technology improves, I'll be able to sit next to him in the cinema seat, have a conversation without bothering anyone else, and enjoy that whole movie experience. So I feel that's going to be a game changer, and we've already seen concerts in the metaverse where you have that experience, being literally next to the stage to a big celebrity and enjoying that show like you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. You might not never get those tickets. So I feel that this will be a game changer for the entertainment industry. The technology is not as mature as we need it today, we have already started building cinemas in the metaverse, and we're experimenting with that with some partners now. And we're kind of ready to take that leap. We've already got a lot of the content rights cleared as well to be able to exploit in the metaverse. And as the tech evolves, then that's where RightStream will come into its own within the space, because one of my visions is to have a cinema in every metaverse, pretty much, and for our right token to become the utility for that as well. So that's another extension of a bigger plan.
Yeah, that's very interesting. There's one final question that I've got from an audience member of the channel, saying that he's wanting to know if there's any plans to work with some Web 2 platforms with the likes of Netflix and Amazon for content distribution, or are they sticking to content released only on all right streaming service for now?
No. Web 2 is massive, and that's majority of where content lives today. So we're definitely looking at those partnerships for content distribution, and we already work with a lot of these platforms through the All Rights business as well. And even well-known Web 2 producers that we want to bring onto the RightStream platform to create the films, the TV series, etc. So that's definitely on the roadmap.
That's it. It's exciting stuff. I mean, I believe that the roadmap's due out pretty soon, like an updated version. I believe is that something that's coming soon?
It is literally. It's. I believe the designers are working on that as we speak, and it should be out in the sometime this week. I would say.
Yeah, I think that's
It
going
needs
to
to
be
go through
exciting.
our internal QA process and so forth, but it's definitely on the cards for this week.
I know a lot of people are literally on bated breath waiting for that. I know it's going to be.
It is hugely exciting. In fact, I was looking at a version of that earlier on, and even our team was saying, "Oh my God, this is so cool!"
Yeah, I'm
So,
looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing it, definitely. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about anything going forward? Any future plans? Anything that you want to talk about before we wrap it up? Or
hey, look, Dan, I just want to say a big thank you to you, and a shout out to your community for actually tuning in to us. I'm always available for more questions, and all I can say is that we have a very big vision, and there's a lot of elements to this vision, and those that will actually come on this journey with us will reap the rewards, because it's like being in Amazon in the early days, and when they were selling books, and look what they've become today, right? So if you had gone on that journey and bought Amazon stock, what that could have looked like, right? So and everything in crypto, it moves very, very quickly, so it's not going to take that long. So thank you all for your support, and look forward to doing more with you as well, Dan. Happy to jump back in when we reveal more parts of our ecosystem, more pillars, and so forth as well.
yeah, that'd be fantastic. You're always most welcome. So yeah, I mean, I just want to say thank you as well for coming on. It's massively appreciated, because obviously, like, I'm a very small YouTube channel. I'm nearly at 4,000 subscribers, so the channel's not massive yet, but it's growing nicely. So it just shows you the caliber of the project and the caliber of who you are as a guy to actually to come on and do these kind of things with. I know myself. I think you've done a few others, obviously with Separil and a couple of others. So it just shows you how committed you are to the project and the kind of guy you are. So it's fantastic for people to see that, and I hope that obviously this is a massive success, and I'm going to continue to DCA to get my token allocation up. I do have some right now, so I'm happy about it. At least I've got some, which is the most important. But yeah, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your time, because I know obviously you're an extremely busy guy with everything that's going on. So I do really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you. So yeah, anyone who's watching, if you everything will be in the description, links to RightStream, all that kind of stuff. There's some other links there. Subscribe if you can. We're getting close to 4,000 subscribers now. Be sure to please smash the like button as well. Any comments in the comments below, and hopefully, if we get any questions, we'll maybe do this again. So thank you very much. Yeah, take care, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. Take care. Goodbye.